I want to get to some Miami Heat talk and Tyler Herro talk so that Mike Ryan can annoy you and Tyler Herro can annoy you and Heat talk can annoy you, because Mike Ryan is already emotional and in his feelings when the Heat started 0-2.
Why do you do this to the audience and just pose me as someone that will annoy you? I know I've done that largely to myself, but I think my analysis, especially in recent years, has been pretty rational.
Your analysis is very good, but you send people away and they stink, and it's very emotional, your analysis. And when they started 0-2, you get so upset that I don't know what I can or can't reveal on air, but you get very upset. And
about how I texted you they stink the other night? Look, okay, so I am a Mario Crispo Miami Hurricanes propagandist, because I kind of have to be. My position within everything. No, I kind of have to.
No, you don't have to be. If you're the money man, he needs to be, a Mike Ryan propagandist, you know what I mean? Like, he should be going out there saying, like, Mike is doing great work for us, not the other way around.
But I understand, like, the position that Dan's in, because he has very great relationships within the Miami Heat. He's talked to people over there. So every time that I get pushed back on some of my opinions that, the rest of the Eastern Conference has improved, although that take has actually aged kind of poorly because Philadelphia seems to have a lot of problems. Me not being so bullish on Miami Heat's chances this season, the pushback, has an agenda behind it.
Wait a minute.
I recognize.
You are agenda soaked in that you're emotional when they start 0-2. They lose a game to Chicago, they lose to Boston, you get in your feelings, everyone stinks.
Where I got bothered was like the pushback, which I thought was a very my take entering this season was they're probably going to battle it out a little bit with Atlanta. Their division got a little bit better. They're closer to a play-in than home court. And that's a bit of a rhetorical trick.
Atlanta is tougher, Cleveland is tougher, and Boston and Milwaukee seem like teams that are better than they are.
Yeah, we did the math last week. There were 7 games that separated home court in the Eastern Conference throughout the 1 seed and the play-ins. 7 games. So we're talking about a negligible difference here. But the response to that take, which I thought was level-headed and rational, was Caleb Martin is going to surprise you, and so-and-so is going to take a leap. And I'm like, okay, these are pieces that are still on the team. Caleb Martin cannot surprise me 2 years running. It is just not something that you build an argument around. And when they struggle for the first 2 games, and Kyle Lowry doesn't look any better, he looks even worse, and Bam Adebayo is doing the same things, and the only person that is actually improving is Tyler Herro, I don't think that's enough. So I get a little mad because it's a little arrogant. There, I said it. Their approach this offseason was a little arrogant. Whales or bust. I mean, come on, guys. There's an obvious upgrade to be made at point guard, I feel, over Kyle Lowry. But we're not... Culture's going to win out and all that.
But Donovan Mitchell said that when he was working out this offseason with Bam Adebayo, he thought it's because he was going to end up in Miami. Is that something that would excite you right now? If they started 1-2 with Donovan Mitchell, would you be as emotional as you are now? They lost to Chicago. They
lost to a broken Chicago.
Yes.
They lost to Goran Dragic, who I was actually rooting for. A funny thing happened in that game. I wanted the Bulls to win it just because I loved Goran Dragic. I was rooting for him. I like seeing him play well, and because I miss him so much because I'm forced to watch Kyle Lowry every week.
Well, you are still entrenched in the position then?
Yes.
They stink.
They're going to be a play-in team, but this is not an Eastern Conference championship team.
Mike,
it's not. They're worse than last year.
I don't think you can make those assessments after 3 games.
Do you think they're better than last year?
I want to talk about Tyler Herro because they just paid him like a top 40 player, and they need him to make a jump. And after a few games, both you and Whittingham are like, man, all of that with him, can I trust it? Like, you and Whittingham are doing something with Tyler Herro. They just paid him like they expect him not just to be a starter, but to lead this team, to take it in the future, take it from Jimmy Butler in the future.
People are funny. In the NBA, it is very hyperbolic, but Tyler Herro especially, he's had a very interesting story arc because he's a bit of a cult of personality, like way lower than what we see here with Tua. But you say Tyler Herro, and nationally, it's just a huge talking point, and everyone seems to have an opinion. And I said 3 games into the season, this is a long-rumored roster transaction, this fantasy trade that I'm going to throw out there. Tyler Herro and some package for Bradley Beal. We've talked about that for several years running. And after 3 games, No, I wouldn't trade Tyler Herro for Bradley Beal. But if I say that 2 years ago and I project the same way that I said, no, I don't take Russell Westbrook for Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro, I'm a loon because we're the Miami Heat and it's big and we don't.
And James Harden.
Yeah,
you went back and forth on that one with
Yeah, I like Tyler Herro a lot as a player, and this leap, I think, there was enough there to assume that this leap was coming, and it's a smart move. I would not. Last year, am I most emotional? I would have said, man, is Tyler Herro stealing what Bradley Beal is right now? No, he's a multiple-time All-Star. Probably not. You take the All-Star right now. Now, where you see Bradley Beal and Tyler Herro, I think the majority of Heat fans would not do that deal straight up if they could.
Well, let me ask you guys from this perspective, because of how things get log-jammed in the historical construction of things, and Pat Riley has not been somebody who builds through youth, had disdain for the draft, but gets Dwayne Wade, and it changes everything. But Dwayne Wade didn't have to wait in line. Dwayne Wade was so great very fast that he made a team that people liked that was 42-40, which I imagine is what the Heat would be if Tyler Herro were leading them and healthy. I'm not saying that he is Dwayne Wade. I'm saying that Tyler Herro is now stuck behind other people. It's other people's team. But if he wants to take it, he's the one that was telling us it's not absurd to compare me to Luka and Trae Young. I can score like that if you give me that usage rate. I think they would be a lesser team. But what you're asking of Tyler Herro and what you're paying him to do is leap over in the next few years Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Like that's where you're arrogant about your culture. Can they do it with that? Because now you got swag superstar who's white in that league. But everyone listening to this would laugh at you at the comparisons to Luka and Trae Young. They'd laugh at you still, even though in the bubble they saw him do 37 points, and we were all like, well, where'd that come from? He's not supposed to be leading the team.
Well, that's why his narrative arc in the NBA has been so volatile, because rookie season in the bubble was extraordinary, was an extraordinary leap for a player at that level to be a playoff contributor.
And that age.
At that age. Then it was regression for me in year 2. Last year's great as a sixth man, then gets the big contract and demands to start, says he can be in that conversation, but we don't really know what his level is. Is he the best player on a championship team? Is he the second best player on a championship team? For me, he's probably the third and a defensive liability as well.
But we don't know, right? We can't tell if you don't send him to the top of the line. Like, this is a young player climbing from the bench to big contract to, the thing that swallowed Duncan Robinson. It doesn't swallow you because you've got swag and you don't mind leaning in, mentally tough, trained by Jimmy Butler. The country hates me. All right, bleep off. I'd love that guy to become a superstar in this town. They're paying him like he is. They haven't traded him for superstars. They're treating him like he is.
Well, they're treating him like a starter. I think his salary, once the new TV deal kicks in, will, like normal basketball players to good basketball players, will make $30 million a year starting in 2 to 3 years' time. Like that is going to be the going rate for a good basketball player, because the max players are going to be making $65-70 million a year, particularly once a new TV deal kicks in. And you know that Turner's going to go big for it, and ESPN's going to go big for it, and Apple and Amazon. And the NBA is going to make a killing with their next TV deal. And so I do think that the Heat probably just like, we can't let this asset go. It's value, and we'll see how he progresses. But I am genuinely fascinated. This is the first time he's being trusted as a starter, as sort of a lead perimeter creator, because I don't know, relative to the other lead perimeter creators, how good he's going to be. And that ultimately dictates his trade value. If you want to cash him in for someone that you determine to be better, that person better be much better than him.
Whittingham, you said they're treating him like he's a starter, and I'm saying by not putting him in those packages for James Harden and Bradley Beal, no, they're treating him like he's an asset that they think can take a leap. And I don't know, and you don't know, and it's hard to know when it's Jimmy Butler's team. It's not his team. And I don't know what it would look like if it were his team. My guess is it would be much lesser, but we'd be talking about, holy shit, is Tyler Herro a scorer who can score 30 a night in this league?
He's going to be talked about as one of the best scorers in the league. he's one of those guys that you don't really notice, and midway through the third quarter, he's got 24, and you're like, how did that happen? The game, from a scoring perspective, comes fairly easy to him. Thankfully, he hasn't had one of those inefficient nights so far. The season's still very early. He's a very good player. Is he a superstar? I don't know. Is he a guy that'll make an occasional All-Star game? I'm not even sure. At this point, even though he's made some leaps, if you look at the stats, Bradley Beal presently is still having a better season. It's just Tyler Herro is having a louder season. And I don't know if Tyler Herro ends up turning into a player like Bradley Beal. That's a huge win. That's a perennial all-star right now. But you don't believe it after 3 games. You don't believe that because Tyler's the only thing that I have faith in. I have more faith in Tyler being able to continue ascend and improve and playing and learning from Coach Spo and becoming a really good contributor for this team and a leader more than Bam taking those leaps, more than Kyle Lowry getting in shape and figuring it out in his late age, even more than Jimmy Butler's shot, which in the playoffs is an enigma. By the way, my favorite thing about Jimmy Butler, I never got it until he was on my team, and I was hoping Kyle Lowry would go the same way, and it didn't. But now I love Jimmy Butler because the postseason, like, he's him. But what he did this media day is flatly hilarious. It's hilarious. It's what Aaron Rodgers does every media day too, where he goes in with a mustache just so all season long everybody has to work off of those photos. What Jimmy Butler did with the dreads for all those media day photos.
It's funny.
For all the, like, ESPN promotes a game and there's some dude that doesn't look anything like Jimmy Butler.
So much hair.
so much hair and clean. The clean shaven thing for me is like the most unsettling part of it.
A joke that I didn't realize he was sculpting a joke for months with that whole hair thing, so that all the promos would have Jimmy.
It was honestly, I understand what he wanted to do the offseason, Dan, and he wanted to try out that aesthetic, but he went in, like, all his media day interviews, he was giggling because he knew what he was doing.
It's funny.
He knew what he was doing.
He's in a costume. He's wearing
performance art.
It is funny, and Chris Cody has been asking a question from sound that emerged. What was it, over the weekend, Cody, involving Jimmy Butler?
Well, Caleb Martin was in the locker room after he got into his, what was that, a kerfuffle? A little schism?
One game suspension.
Yeah, he got into it. He, like, tackled a guy. He was, like, showing toughness, Caleb Martin. So he's just being asked about it after. He's giving his, nothing answer of just, gotta be better than that. And Jimmy Butler does something in the background here. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. I think he is.
I just think that there's a lot of plays that kind of leading up to it. It's a tricky game.
Rim job, what's up, baby?
That's
all right, we gotta solve the mystery.
Who is he dapping up?
Who is
Jeremy?
Who is Rim Job?
Who is Rim Job?
Let's play that again. Who at the Heat? Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Who is Rim Job?
Rim job, what's up, baby?
Who's he talking to?
I feel like he's just doing that because he knoes there's serious sound being.
Is he just doing this with his hands together? Is he dapping himself up?
He might be doing that. I think
Rim job, what's up, baby?
He knows that there's a silly controversy involving Caleb Martin. There was a kerfuffle. There was some jockeying about 1-game suspension. He knows this is. Wait a minute. Is he just basically, because he no longer has the hair, just figuring out a way to get on to SportsCenter?
Rim job, what's up, baby?
That's not getting on SportsCenter.
So wait a minute. Is he making sure that it doesn't get on SportsCenter by
Rim job, what's up, baby?
If they can't play that on SportsCenter because of that, it kind of buries the story. Wow,
I think that's actually what just happened here. I think Jimmy Butler is protecting his
This
teammate.
is awfully convenient because the more logical thing is that there is someone in Jimmy Butler's world that he affectionately refers to as Rim Job.
Is it possible that it's Caleb Martin?
Why would Rim Job? Well, I guess depending on what your fancies are and what tickles them. Why would look at how happy? When is Jimmy Butler ever this happy?
I want to hear in the background.
Rim job, what's up, baby?
He's never that happy.
If I was Rim Job, I'd be like, "Can you call me RJ?"
Rim job, what's up, baby?
Are we alleging that Jimmy is slapping 5 with himself there?
If you were to follow your conspiracy theory, which is why he didn't want SportsCenter to talk about this, and this was all just very clever from Jimmy Butler to say, "Hey, Rim Job, what's up, baby?" so he knew that traditional media would not be able to play it.
Rim job. What's up, baby?
That was not my initial thought. My initial thought was still the performance art of wanting to get on SportsCenter with rim job, and then you guys said there's no circumstance under which SportsCenter would play that sound.
No, are there clues? I have a longer clip. Is there? Does he keep talking in the back? Is there
Just Caleb going after that. There's no more Jimmy.
no other hint as to
No.
who rim job might be.
Why I'm saying I think it's fake. It's absolutely sound that and it's overly loud. It's like he's got a boom mic. You can hear him more than you can
Rim
hear.
job. What's up, baby?
His sound is better than Caleb Martin, as you hear him mumbling there.
Rim job. What's up, baby?
Come on, like he's doing that on purpose. That's not-
Can we ask our heat sources
Yes,
who rim
I'm
job
gonna
is?
report this and get an answer.
Who is rim job?
I'm going to text that right now to Pat Riley.
And why are they named rim job?
That's the better question.
Yeah. Is it someone that bricks shots off the backboard? Is it literal?
I also don't know. I don't think this clip was ever making SportsCenter, but it definitely did get it off the local news. The local news is definitely not running a clip where that's going on in the background.
Not a chance.
I want to get to the bottom of this. I think it should be.
I think he also said afterwards, and sorry for interrupting, that he's like, of course Ira would ask that question. Like, he was just having fun in the background, enjoying that.
Jimmy,
Wait, is Ira rim job?
Jimmy is happier when there are kerfuffles. He's generally buoyant. Where sparks have overflowed. Oh, look, everyone hates each other. That's Jimmy happy time.
Does he lead America in enjoying conflict? Like, there can't be a person in the United States that enjoys conflict more than him.
Oh, you're not paying attention to what's happening in politics.